Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel today. We have an update for you guys on our 4th generation Tacoma TRD Offroad. If you didn't see our video from last week, make sure to check it out. I flew out to Vegas to pick this one up and we brought it back. Within 24 hours, we installed a temporary lift setup, wheels, and tires. We ended up dropping the vehicle off at King Shock same day for them to do some R&D on. Fast forward about 5 days later, here we are, picking up the truck with a new King setup installed on the vehicle. Let's cruise back to the shop to install some more parts, but in the meantime, I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, but let me show you how the 4-banger turbo pulls on the road. So here we have a rolling start, 20, floor it goes, see how it picks up. Oh, might bring up the windows. Peak torque is at 1700 RPM, so look at this. It's hard to show in a video, but maybe I'll do another recording at a later time. I owned a 3rd generation 3.5 liter V6 Tacoma previously, and I'll tell you this, the new 4-cylinder turbo feels much more powerful, having 317 pound-foot of torque. It's more fun to drive, and there's no more gear hunting with the new 8-speed automatic transmission. Toyota did an excellent job tuning, calibrating, and mating these two together. Now that the truck's back at 88, we're gonna get some measurements and bring it up on the lift. It's time to remove the stock upper control arms and all 4 links in the back. We'll be replacing them with a set of Camburg Kinetik billet uniball upper control arms. Camburg Kinetik Arms will help us maximize wheel travel and allow us to correct camber and caster on the vehicle to maximize performance. All Kinetik arms are constructed of 6061 billet aluminum. The guys at King knew that I was anxious to get my truck back as I had other parts ready to install. They sent me back with the current setup, which isn't the final production kit yet, but we'll have a new one ready for me tomorrow to swap out. Our tech is removing the King sway bar and links on both sides so that we can drop the rear differential and remove all 4 trailing arms. If you guys are new to the channel and want to see more 4th generation Tacoma content and to follow this build, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Our shop, 88 Rotors, is located in sunny Southern California in the city of Baldwin Park. If you want to get some work done by us, please reach out to us anytime by phone, or you can always message us by clicking on the link in the description and going to our contact form. Our tech is now loosening up the bolt to the upper trailing arms. We're going to be replacing all 4 trailing arms, 2 upper and 2 lower, with the complete Kinetik series kit from Camburg Racing. Here are the upper trailing arms on top compared to the OEM ones with standard bushings that we just removed. These are going to loosen up the rear end and maximize wheel travel in conjunction with our new King shocks. They're constructed of 6061 T6 billet aluminum and machined with weight reduction pockets without compromising strength. With 1-inch FK uniball bearing pivots on both ends of each arm and Delrin wobble stoppers for the front pivots, it keeps the lower arms positioned correctly throughout the suspension cycle. So tell me now, why not have both form and function? These Kinetik trailing arms are also as appealing to the eyes as they are great for the vehicle's rear 4-link suspension performance. And here's a closer look at the rear lower trailing arms installed, and we'll go right in so you can see the upper trailing arms also installed. We hope that you guys are enjoying this video so far, and if you do so, please find time to click on that thumbs up and give us a like. It makes a big difference for this video and the channel itself, and it definitely encourages us to make more videos like this for your viewing pleasure. With the new setup installed, we can now throw back on the wheels and tires. We'll move on to the next mod. Parts are so limited for the 4th generation Tacoma at the moment in terms of aftermarket support, but we're doing what we can with what we have. We're waiting on new parts that are coming in next week, but for now we're going to install some XL Linkables from Baja Designs onto the Prinsu Cabrack. We're not too sure if this is intentional from Toyota or not, but this is awesome. The weather strip on the front windshield is removable, and there's plenty of room under there for us to tuck the wiring. This is going to make it so much easier to do a clean install of lights on the roof. Another cool thing are the 3 auxiliary switches that are pre-installed on the left side of the steering column. I did talk to Baja Designs and S-Pod 4x4, and they said they're making an S-Pod system specifically for the 4th generation Tacoma. I'm gonna wait for that one to be released, so for now I'm gonna be using the factory 3 auxiliary switches. The wind deflector that I have for the Prinsu Cabrack is a little bit short. This one's not the right length for it, so I'm just gonna modify it myself to make it all work. I used a template to draw out what I needed to cut. I went to town on it, so now I'm cleaning up the edges. Then I'm gonna finish it off with a nice edge trim to give it a clean look. Sweet, now this one's the perfect length for it. We're gonna put this one on and complete the job. 1, 2, 3. And let me show you Toyota's new remote start system. We all know that the 3rd generation remote start was a cool feature, but hated that it always shut off the moment you opened the door. You would then have to restart the truck when you're ready to use it. Toyota must have listened and fixed it for the 4th generation. After pressing the lock button on the key fob 3 times and holding it on the 3rd, the lights will flash and the vehicle will start. This is a great feature to warm up your engine. For those that live in the cold climates, they can leave the heater and heated seats on so it can be nice and toasty when they jump in for a ride next time with a remote start. start. And same goes for summertime. You can always leave the AC on. One feature I wish Toyota did for this would be some way to detect the weather. It would have been nice if it can be set like a thermostat and automatically heat or cool as needed. Okay, perfect timing. King just hit me up and said that the new coilovers are ready to be picked up. We threw the Taco back on the lift and took off the prototype set. Let's go swap them out. We'll go for a ride in my Duramax. For those that say that Tacoma is so small, yes it is. That's why I have this. It's a 6.6 turbo diesel Duramax 2500 HD with a 10-speed Allison transmission. And of course, it's on Kings as well. I didn't want the Kings to get damaged and clink around, so I put it on the floor of the truck. Luckily, we're not that far from Garden Grove, which is where King headquarters is located at. It was a good 40-minute drive or so just to get there. It's amazing to see how much work goes into building a quality product. All the R&D, machining, building, testing, tuning, and time devoted into it is amazing. People wonder why they cost so much, and you really see the reason why when you tour the facility. No shortcuts are taken here to bring you the quality parts. Now that we have the new set, we're gonna bring it back and slap it on the truck. Let's see how this goes. Now fast forward, I got back to the shop and we've already thrown the front new shocks onto the vehicle. We've shortened the front springs to 14 inches from the original 16 inch from the prototype set. Let's see how this bad boy rides now. We've been so busy at work, I don't have enough time to sneak this thing out to get some dirt action, but I'm gonna be out at the Mint 400 next week. Hopefully I can sneak out to get some dirt on the way to Vegas. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so that you won't miss what we have in store for the next update. This killer combo of King and Camburg suspension components is the way to go if you have a 4th gen and are looking for a top-tier mid-travel setup. First impression of this setup on road and through the parking lot alone is great. The reality of it is the majority of us actually use our trucks as daily drivers or commuters, so on-road ride quality matters and is also important. I've only experienced on-road for this moment, but the truck handles like a dream on dips and bumps even through the parking lot itself. Making fast turns in the new 4th gen is surprisingly quick and precise. I wasn't sure how I would feel about a mid-sized truck like this going from a hydraulic power steering system to an electronic one, but it feels like I can almost take this thing on the track. Others have said that there's absolutely no turbo lag. I wouldn't agree with that completely, but it's close to it. At a lower speed and at takeoff, it feels instantaneous. The peak torque on the previous generation Tacoma was hit at 4,600 RPM, while the new one hits at only 1,700 RPM. People don't realize and always compare horsepower, but most driving, you hit the peak torque before you hit the peak horsepower, so it plays a major role in how the vehicle performs. And don't worry, this was done after hours. We're in an industrial area, so there were no cars around for this quick test run of dips and bumps. And surprisingly, I actually enjoy driving this 4-cylinder turbo more than a V6 now. There's still going to be haters that are going to say what they say, but hey, don't knock it until you try it. And keep in mind that I'm running some 35-inch TOYO MT tires on forged BEADLOCK wheels right now. They're slightly north of 100 pounds a piece, yet the truck still picks up and goes as soon as I step on the gas. I can only imagine how much more fun the iFirst Max will be to drive once they finally put that into production for these later this year. Yes, it's not a sports car and it's not meant for this, but for a mid-sized truck to get you around town and haul light-duty stuff, I think Toyota hit this one out of the park. All right, here's a takeoff. This is going to be a wrap for today's video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check in next week. We'll be visiting a few of our industry partners, gonna go get this thing aligned and dialed in, have some photo shoots, hit some trails, try to sneak out for some dirt, and best of all, we'll get some content of the Mint 400 Contingency Festival on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. Subscribe now and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss it. Take care, guys.